I just spoke to Andrew Radin, the Recycling and Waste Reduction Director here at Okra, and he tells me, despite news reports that tell us that most of Onondaga County will be getting rid of these blue bins for larger 95-gallon automated pickup recycling bins, it's going to be a long road before those changes actually take place. Thanks, Megan. And it was just this morning that a federal court judge struck down legislation requiring girls 17 and under to have a prescription for the Plan B pill. Now, this emergency contraception was being pushed by the FDA since 2011 to be made available to girls of all ages without prescriptions, but received big opposition from Kathleen Sebelius, the U.S. Department of Health Secretary. Now, I spoke to the Communications Director, Betty DeFazio, here at Planned Parenthood, and she says it's not going to make a big difference specifically for this Planned Parenthood, but for girls under the age of 18, it'll make it a lot easier and a lot more accessible to get those contraceptives. Reporting live from Planned Parenthood in Syracuse, Alex Sellen, NCC News. Thanks, Megan. And it's here at the 1300 block of North Salina Street that last night firefighters responded to a two-alarm fire that killed 2 people. Now, originally 9 people lived in this home, but as of now, as you can see, the house is not livable anymore. The scene is still roped off by police. It's considered a crime scene because they still have not determined what the cause of this fire was. Red Cross and crisis support teams arrived last night to help the victims who are now homeless, but the investigation is still ongoing. Until then, we'll keep you updated with any more information we get with services from police. Reporting from North Salina Street, Alex Sellen, NCC News.
NCC News reporter Alex Sellen joins us to talk about exactly what people had to say about the bombing and talk surrounding it.
While I was met with a surprisingly accurate amount of knowledge of yesterday's bombing, it was another question I thought a little bit more provoking. A common retweet tweet on Twitter said, referring to the terrorists, "Please don't be Muslim." Listen to what people had to say. Now, most Central New Yorkers I spoke with today were well in touch with the news, but there were several people who had thought there was a third explosion. Now, this reported explosion turned out coincidentally to be an unrelated electrical fire in JFK Library and Museum, just a 10-minute drive from the marathon finish line.
Thanks, Alex.
It's here, just off Syracuse campus at the Hillel Center for Jewish Life, that Zapruder spoke to undergrads, graduates, and community members to talk about how exactly the teenage diaries of Holocaust victims could be used not only to understand the Holocaust better, but also how to be applied to the classroom. Free agent center Jason Collins received both support and thwart today amid his decision yesterday to declare publicly that he is gay. Despite being the first professional U.S. athlete to come out as gay, CBS Sports Radio host Tim Brando disputes fans applauding him as a hero on Twitter, stating that he doesn't fit the dictionary definition of hero. New York State Senator George Maziarz has now reconsidered a bill he introduced 2 years ago. His law proposed would have given anonymity to the 2 brothers charged with stealing a $5 million lottery ticket from a patron at their father's convenience store. While the New York State Lottery requires winners of $1 million or more to attend a news conference and a prize presentation, Andy and Nael Ashkar requested anonymity in their prize claim. Speaking of being scammed, a New Hampshire man reported losing $2,600 to a carnival prize called Tubs of Fun. He claims this was his entire life savings, and that after his practice attempts, which he claimed were easy, the game became impossible to win, and he got caught up in an ongoing game of double or nothing. All he won was a giant banana. The carnival is back on the road now, but Tubs of Fun is now under investigation. Finals for the inaugural Syracuse Idol is this Thursday. A group of 13 finalists of all ages will perform at a local library on Salina Street. With forecasts predicting up to 10 inches of snow in Chicago by this evening, the Chicago Department of Aviation urges travelers to triple-check their flight status with their airline. Almost 1,000 flights have been canceled departing both O'Hare and Midway International Airports in Illinois. As large hubs for layover flights leaving Syracuse, travelers this week should prepare for delays. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced today that 13,000 possible cases of identity fraud in New York have been investigated since facial recognition technology was implemented 3 years ago. Cuomo says the State Department of Motor Vehicles has been using the technology since February of 2010 and has resulted in over 2,500 arrests and another 5,000 people facing administrative action. The facial recognition software helps identify individuals attempting to get more than one driver's license or non-driver ID. A well-known South Jersey lawmaker says he will fight DUI charges against him. He claims he was the victim of a police intimidation. Assemblyman Paul Moriarty says a Washington Township police officer pulled him over yesterday afternoon on the Black Horse Pike. The officer said he cut him off, but Moriarty tells NBC 10 that when he disputed that, the officer suggested Moriarty had been drinking and brought him in to take a breathalyzer test. He refused the test and was charged with DUI, even though he says he hadn't been drinking. There's no comment right now from police. This morning, police in Delaware are trying to track down a prisoner who has escaped. Authorities say 22-year-old Keith Walker was spotted yesterday running from his work crew in the Ocean View area in southern Delaware. Walker is a prisoner at the Sussex Community Corrections Center. He was being held on a probation violation. You're asked to call police if you have any information about him. It's being called a kid crime spree. Philadelphia police are searching for a boy as young as 12 years old who say that is trying to rob people at gunpoint. This has happened 5 times. The attempted robberies took place between Monday night and Tuesday afternoon. Police say the kid targeted victims between 46th and 47th Streets from Market to Chestnut. 3 of the victims told police the kid threatened them with a gun, then took off on a bike. One victim, who did not want to be identified, tells NBC 10 the kid approached her at a gas station and tried to steal her purse. She described what happened when she tried calling 911. The investigators say in all 5 cases, the kid got away empty-handed. It's emails like these, along with public safety announcements, that have Peter Mavrikidis, owner of Acropolis Pizza, so upset.
The problem starts from some other place and comes this way, and I cannot be a policeman to stop these people, you know. What can I do? They tell me I don't cooperate. They tell me to close 2 hours before my time, and if I do this, is at least 35% of my business.
Anthony Callisto with Syracuse University's Department of Public Safety stresses that without proper preventative measures, late-night alcohol sales can lead to big problems with the safety of bystanders as well as allocation of police resources.
There have been other places in the city that have been the epicenter of these locations that have done the security steps that have driven folks away as a result. This establishment hasn't done that. If people can buy a 6-pack of beer in your place and sit down and drink it right there, you've completely raised the stakes with regards to what security is necessary for you to take on yourself.
The extensive list of police reports has raised more than a concern for Syracuse Police Sergeant Tom Connellan.
A stabbing, including an assault, people being maced, shots fired that happened out front, a shooting that was the result of a fight that started inside of his place. These are all documented, and these, believe me, we have reports that go back to last March where we met with him.
And while the owner of Acropolis told me that he shut his restaurant down early for a whole month this summer to deter crimes like these, the Syracuse Police Department, as well as DPS here at SU, tells me the summertime's not their main concern for crimes like these.
Students should stay away from there anytime after midnight.
Pita Pit was a stabbing, so they blame me. Everything happened in this area, it's me. How can it, I don't understand this.
Whatever the root of the recent violence has been, it's surely causing tension for police and the people they serve. I'm Alex Sellen. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.